Hayes, what you got for me?
Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Spurs of the moment. Everything Tottenham, everything Spurs, we are covering here, 10 a.m. every Monday morning. But we may be changing this show ever so slightly. The 10 a.m. slot may be taken by another show real soon. So don't take my word on every 10 a.m. because I think this might change. But look, no do late diaries today. We are early. We got quite a few shows, a busy day of content. And I thought, let me just start this early because we are going to finish early. But there is a lot going on. So, yeah, man, look, people, make sure when you check in, you come into the yard, take your damn shoes off, smash the likes on this video, and make sure you are subscribing to the channel because we are real close to 4.6, not 5. I've been saying 5 so much. We need it soon. I need your help to get me to that 5K. But we are like real close to 4.6. So, hey, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're sharing, tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell a nephew, niece, all of them things. Subscribe to your boy, Durag Diaries. Obviously, today we are here on the back of a defeat. Chelsea, 3-point lane, shit, yet again, lack of desire, lack of heart, no passion, no energy, none of that. We needed more passion, more energy, but there was none of it yesterday. Saturday. And it was just awful. I'll be honest, after that game, didn't watch no more football, checked out for the weekend. The performance just, it killed me. It absolutely killed me. You guys know how confident I was going into that game. You guys know how, how I was talking. I was talking my shit. I was flaunting my shit. I was going, yeah, Spurs, Frank, like, coming home, big statement performance. I was doing all of this stuff. But it just cannot be ignored. The performance was nowhere near good enough. Away from that, Van de Ven and Spence should be disciplined, people are saying. Obviously, we'll go through the clip that has been taken and shared around YouTube, not YouTube, but shared around social media about 50,000 times now. Of Van de Ven and Spence walking past Thomas Frank. He did have some words to address that, but we'll go into that a little bit later. But yeah, man, big up to everyone inside. How's everyone's weekend been? It's a nice, I say nice, it's a moggy Monday morning. And look, I know my team didn't win, but I know some of your teams won. Some people are feeling happy. Man United got a draw, technically unbeaten in their last 5. Arsenal continue their winning streak. Liverpool back to winning ways. And obviously, Man City closed out the weekend with an impressive victory over Bournemouth. So quite a few teams are happy. Everyone, it seems, barring mine. The midday live is not going to be fun. But it is what it is. We are here. Let me come to the chat. The people them inside. Mr. MB says Van de Ven and Spence with Spencer with disgusting behavior. Well, I don't know if Spencer was there, but I do understand where you're coming from. Good morning to my guy Mustafa, who says morning DRD. Big up to the member in the house. Man like Godfrey. Big up to you, my bro. Appreciate you. You can be like Godfrey. You can have that little badge next to your name, the little VIP. Because when you walk in the club, you want to skip the queue sometimes. Sometimes you want to get the red. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever walked into a party and they just the little red velvet thing, they move that, open it up. That's what happens when Godfrey come up in the yard. He's got that VIP, and you can be like Godfrey. Tap the link in that pinned comment. Join the Descendants, join the Delinquents, become part of the memberships, get some exclusive access by clicking that link. And you can look like Godfrey, man. Big up, Jords. Hope you're good, bro. I hope you're well as well. I hope your team's not well. But I know you're feeling good, happy after what? I don't even know when the last time you guys conceded a goal, conceded a shot on fucking target. I don't even know. It's mad. We both dropped points before our fixture, Jords. Yeah, do you know what? That makes this fixture all a little bit more spicy. The one thing is we do have a game in between that tomorrow. Copenhagen Champions League gives us an opportunity to build some confidence. But as you would know, Mustafa, as you would know, Copenhagen aren't to be taken lightly, because it was just 2 years ago when Erik ten Hag was in this competition with your club that man slapped you up 4-3 or something like that. I remember that very clearly. Back-to-back games against the Galatasaray and Copenhagen, they both come back and beat you. So, look, I ain't going to rub them out and say easy game, easy 3 points, but ultimately, it's a game where we look to build some confidence. 0.05 XG. Thoughts on that, Jordan? Very worrying. Yes, going to go into some of their stats and some of the things that are worrying about Spurs so far. Just give me a moment. Van der Ben, Spence going into the tunnel before our fixture. Hashtag speak soon. I was feeling a bit too saucy today. All the Chelsea players changing their IG location, violating Spurs. Yeah, it's childish, man. Then their man got one win at White Hart Lane this summer. I'm sorry, this season, and now they're all like, oh, training ground. Oh, let's make some jokes. And do you know what? Have your time. Have your moment. I hear it. Have your little joke. Let's see who has the last laugh at the end of the season. That's all that matters. Thoughts on the Simmons cameo, George? So many people get onto him for his performances. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I can't lie. These next fixtures are dark, Jay. They are dark. But this is where you could also bring a lot of light. Because let's be honest with ourselves, if there's any game to rejuvenate, to bring the fan base back together, to have a statement performance, it'd be in the next 4 or 5 games. So look, it's going to be a good test for the squad. And it will give us a good idea of where the level and where the ceiling is of this team. So I'm looking forward to these games. I'm not scared at all. Our mentality got exposed for real. I knew the game was lost after Bergbaum got concussed, and I hear it. Do you know what it is? It's one of those ones where early in the game it looked very much like that. We weren't the team that had enough. We just didn't come ready. We just didn't come ready for this game. Like, it seemed like Chelsea, it was men against boys. That's what it seemed like, you know. They just played better than us in every aspect. We were losing our jewels. I keep saying it. We were losing on our jewels. Let's crash it on all the players for this dusty manager. Don't even get what you're trying to say there, but big up to you, Tottenham Ranger. But you know what? Let's go into some of these stats in it, because obviously I'll share my screen where we have some of these statistics that we can look at and really understand where it went wrong in this game. Obviously, we're just going to go over some of the basic stats here. And it seemed like the XG may have been updated, because I know you've got 0.05 in there, Mustafa. SofaScore has it as 0.1. And I don't know if that's, well, I would say that's because they go up in 0.1s, but obviously this is 0.68. So that's obviously not, I don't know. I don't understand the reason why. Don't tell me, Jords, you're a fraud. You're getting up fake stats. I use SofaScore. That's just the easiest. Oh, what even happened? I just use SofaScore because it's easy. It's a nice layout. It's clean. It's easy to understand. So don't get onto me if you don't like the stat. Again, I am not the stat man. I just read the stats. But as you can see here, one of the biggest problems we have had in not just this game, but our last couple games is the XG. We are not creating enough dangerous situations throughout, what's the word I'm looking for? Throughout the I don't even know what word I'm looking for. Well, we're not creating enough dangerous situations in open play. That's literally it. We're not building up pretty good. We're not playing through the lines good enough. I even saw a tweet earlier. Let me get off my phone. I think they said that Tottenham have only played Spurs have only played 4 through balls this season. 4 through balls this season. Now, that's not direct along the top passes but just 4 through balls. As opposed to Arsenal, 38, Man City, 31, Man United, 31, Liverpool, 30, Aston Villa, 28, Crystal Palace, 27. These are teams that are creating better chances through open play than us. Yes, defensively, we look pretty damn good. There's quite a few stats that you can look at defensively and say, do you know what? Spurs are doing their job at the back. They're keeping the ball away from their goal, and you know they're keeping the ball out the back of the net. We've got quite a few clean sheets to show that. But the biggest problem we have is building through those lines, getting the ball into our attackers and actually being effective in that front three. when you look at the attacking momentum, it goes to show you that Spurs had nothing in that game. The tiniest bit of momentum after half time. There was a little bit of momentum, and I think this came around the 30th minute in that first half. But Chelsea just dominated us. Even when you look at 6 big chances as opposed to our 0. We had 0 big chances. Again, the only shot on target that I recall was the shot from Kudus. There was pretty much a fairly easy save. Away from that, didn't get in enough dangers. 3 total shots across the whole game. Our goalkeeper saved 8 times, made 8 saves yet again. You know what? If you look at the stats, I'm pretty sure 3 matches in a row. And now, obviously, I know it may not have been officially man of match on, the Sky Sports apps and all of these things. But Vicario has been the best performer, stats-wise, in our last 3 games. That's damning. That's huge. That goes to show us that we have not been good in these last 3 games. And I'm talking about not Newcastle, because obviously Kinski was playing. So I'm talking about this game. I'm talking about the game before Newcastle, which was Aston Villa. Well, no, Aston Villa was, no. It was Monaco, Everton. Sorry, Monaco, Everton. Yeah, it was Monaco and Everton. I'm counting like there was 4 or 5 games. Monaco and Everton, and then this game. And it's just like, yet again, we're relying on our goalkeeper to save us. At the back in this game, I felt like Danso was really, really poor. That's one player that stood out to me, really stood out to me, and just he didn't help the build up through the middle. A lot of the times when we were getting on the ball, we needed Danso to just play through the lines a little bit quicker, make his decisions quicker, but he just kept dancing on the ball. He's standing around, he's turning back, he's dribbling. And one of the problems we have when you play Van de Ven and Danso, and Van de Ven's getting a little bit good at it. He can play through the lines sometimes. A lot of those short to medium passes, no long passes, and not really risky passes, fairly the easy ones. But when you play both of these, they both drive with the ball. And I'm not being funny. You can't have your centre-backs driving forward through the middle of the pitch consistently. You can do it 1 or 2 times in a game, but if you're consistently do it, then the other team's going to notice that weakness and probably start to man another person next to João Pedro tucking in so they can take advantage of that space that's going to be left behind. So Danso and Van de Ven are too similar in their way of playing once they get the ball, and it doesn't help our build-up. Then, again, we already know Bentancur, Paulinho. I just think in this game, their midfield just completely bossed us. Caicedo done everything. Man done everything. Caicedo was defensively sweeping and then pressing on the front foot. He was being the first line of defense and the last line of defense at the same time. An absolute monster in midfield. We obviously know defensively, he's better than Paulinho. Going forward, he's better than Paulinho. He's just another level above him. And he showed that in the game. Because on the ball, as you can see, if you look at his stats, he was everywhere. Everywhere. A lot of his stuff was in the middle of the pitch, but obviously everywhere. We didn't create much defensively, so barely any work was needed in his actual half. But when you look at the defensive side of it, or I suppose the passing side of things, 22 out of 25 passes in the opposition half. So the majority of his play was in our half. Yeah. When you look at defensively, again, 4 out of 6 of his ground duels won, 5 interceptions, 2 tackles, 7 recoveries, 1 clearances. He was just all over the place. He was a monster to stop and just so good. So damn good. So I really can't say a bad word about him. I know I said in my match reaction that Reece James wasn't that good. Now I can see people in the comments getting triggered by it. I didn't mean that Reece James was shit. I just meant when you look at the whole Chelsea team, I don't think they needed to be amazing. I don't think I saw, barring Caicedo, any 8 or 9 out of 10 performances. I saw a lot of good performances. Cucurella as well. I'll give it. Caicedo, Cucurella were the standouts for me. Chalobah was actually really good in just the basic things that he done. Robert Sanchez, really good on collecting the corners and just, giving them that composure at the back. Because every time we put a corner in the box, he just collected it. And one thing I've heard from Chelsea fans all season is set pieces were weak. He made them not weak on any set piece. He collected every set piece. He made them feel composed at the back and made it very easy for the defenders to just focus on doing their jobs. But Trevor Chalobah done nice and really strong to just shut Kolo Muani out of the game. Now, One thing I think's harsh on Kolomwani is, as you can see, his heat map's got barely any. It's barely got any heat, bro. There's barely anything on there because he literally only had, as you will see here, 16 touches in the game. Barely any touches in the game. But the one thing I'll give that I had frustration was, again, when he did get on the ball, his touches weren't good. Lost possession 7 times, 3 unsuccessful touches. Aerial duels, he didn't do terrible, but we needed him to do a little bit better. So I don't think Kolomwani is any player that anyone could focus on in this game, be like, he was at fault, he was this. I think the main players that we have to talk about being at fault was, of course, Van der Ven for that goal. Van der Ven was at fault for the goal that we conceded. Him and Shavi Simmons, and I know, look, it's taken me 15 minutes to mention his name. A lot of people wanted to hear it earlier, but Shavi Simmons was dreadful. Shavi Simmons was dreadful on the day. I tried to you sort of sugarcoat over it. I've tried to give him a lot of time. I've tried to save him as well. But one thing that has been clear to see is Shavi Simmons just doesn't look confident in this team. Shavi Simmons was playing far too negative in this game. Everyone was, but Shavi Simmons didn't help. Now, I don't look at young players to lead my team and be, you know, you're going to get us out of this hard patch against our top rivals, you know, in a game where nobody else has been up. You're going to be the guy to dig us out of this hole. I don't expect him to have that expectation in just 10 games into his Spurs career. But ultimately, if you are a big player, if you are a player that believes you can be big time, if you believe that you're aiming for, let's just say, a Ballon d'Or, not say he could get that, but I would like to think most players would aim for the heights, like, you know, shoot for the stars, aim for the moon type shit. So I would think that if you want to become that player, you play with that confidence and you try to play through the lines. You try to shoot. You try to create. We're so passive in this game. And literally, the way that they got the goal came from him showing his passiveness in our lines. Received the ball on the edge of the box. Passed it back to Van der Ven to put him in a dangerous situation when Caicedo was already pressing him. If he tried to spin Caicedo and you know, won a foul, it would have been well for us. Could have got us out, and he does really well because he done it before. He done it later after on in the game. He sent Caicedo, absolutely sent him. Hit him with a step over, a fake shimmy step over to the right. Took it with his left, went around the middle of the pitch, dribbled, and then somebody just came into him, shoulder to shoulder. He went on the floor. Now I know a lot of people have mentioned him not being up to it physically, and I've sort of brushed it off. Now I don't necessarily think that he needs a lot of work physically. I don't necessarily think that's the problem, because when you actually look at him and look at his numbers and you look at how involved he is physically, he doesn't seem like someone that is actually struggling. Defensively, if you go here, he actually had the most duels in our team. So if I go to player statistics, let me just bring this up for a moment. It's just to show you guys where I think the game was lost. But the duels. Now, this is where I think one of the biggest problems we had was there was not enough of our players doing the basics of winning their duels in this game. João Paulinho was the only one who always has a high percentage number. And Christian Romero, we know what to expect. Romero, he's an absolute demon at the back. He's a guy that's going to sweep up play. And it seemed like as soon as Romero come on the pitch, we looked so much calmer, so much better at the back. He just brought us the composure that we needed, but also the aggressiveness. And at the time of when he made substitutions, you know me, I'm not a fan of Richarlison. I've given up all hope with this guy. But at that point, I totally got why Frank was bringing on Romero and Richarlison. We needed 2 aggressive players. We needed someone that was going to bring the balance to this game, because Chelsea were bullying us. Chelsea were putting their hands on us, like they were our parents, like I was their sons. Man said, get the belt out. We're walking to go get the belt. That's what it felt like. We come and brought on 2 South American sicarios to balance that out. And Romero helped. Getting stuck in straight away, sliding in, flying in tackles. But there wasn't enough players having that same mentality in the game. Look, these are just the few players. Just these 2 were the only ones that had won more than 50% of their duels. Only Romero and João Paulinho won more than 50% of their duels. Obviously, Kolomwani, but he didn't duel enough. Shavi Simmons, though, what I was going to get onto was for a player that was involved in 16 duels to win 8 of them. He's the one player out on the pitch that was showing us a bit of grit. Was showing us, do you know what? As much as I am small, I am frail. I'm not going to let them bully me. I'm not going to let them push me around. Now, on the ball, he was shit. He was shit. But I don't think enough people sit here and talk about physically, he's this, he's that. I don't think he's terrible physically. I think he just needs to, as Thomas Frank has said, bring the intensity up. You need to make your decisions quicker. We're not in the Bundesliga. You're not going to get 10 minutes to sit around on the ball, think about what you're going to do, have a fucking tea and coffee break, and then make your decision. You don't have time to do that. You've got to get on the ball, and by the time you've got the ball, you need to know the decision that you're making for the next pass. That already needs to process. That should have already happened in your mind. But that's the problem that Shavi Simmons is having. Is once he gets on the ball, he's thinking, and he's overthinking. I don't know if you have overthinkers in the chat, but people that overthink tend to make the wrong decisions. You need to react off of instinct. Play off of instinct. Do what you're used to doing. When you're playing confidence, when you're playing confidently, I should say, you never really think about what you're doing. You just flow. You're in a flow state. I'm sure people have watched fighting. I'm sure people have listened to interviews from like past experience pros and vets and these things. And one thing I tell you, when they're in their mode and they're feeling it, don't even think. They're just doing things. They're just ultra instinct. Man, they're just flowing through. Yeah? Can't hit me. Can't touch this. Man, I'm moving like Goku. Ultra instinct. I need our players to get into that mindset, that mode. Most importantly, Shavi Simmons. Because, yeah, physically, I don't think he's that way off. But on the ball, he has shown to just be that way off. And like, I put a lot of big things in his name. I said he's better than this player, or he's got bigger ability than this player, I still believe these things. Me seeing him for 12 games not perform at a level that I've seen him perform at previously does not mean I don't believe these things. I just think he's taking longer to show it. And I thought he would adapt a little bit quicker, but he's taking him more time. Now, I think fans need to give him a little bit more time because, again, he's 22 years old. Sometimes you have to, like, I cook Verts, but I'm getting to the point I started to feel sorry for Verts. Because how can you be mad at Verts for not performing because of his price tag when you have senior pros like Salah, Van Dijk, fucking Isaac, people that are a lot older than him, at least 3, 4, sometimes 10 years older than him, not performing. And you're looking at the kid to be like, yeah, you're not good enough because of his price tag. I don't think that's right. I do it, but I don't think it's right, innit? You have to start to feel sorry for someone sometimes. So I don't feel sorry for Shavi. I don't. I know you said that. I don't feel sorry for Shavi. Shavi's got ample opportunities, had ample of the ball, and he needs to perform. I feel sorry for Verts. That's the only person I felt sorry for. I felt sorry for Verts a little bit. Only a little bit. He's still 0010, double agent, really working for the other side and them things. But Shavi Simmons needs to start contributing for us going forward because our attacking numbers are awful. Awful. When you look at the attacking stats here, obviously goals-wise, we're the 5th ranked highest in the Premier League now. That goes up and down per game is what it is. Expected assists, we're really low, 15th. Expected goals, we're 15th in the league for expected goals. That is not a good stat, and that is damning on our attacking play at the moment. Now, I know when we mentioned the through balls, the one thing that could come to mind is who the fuck wants to play a through ball into Richarlison? And I understand it. I think our attacking numbers are naturally going to increase when we have better attacking players available. We have better attacking players on hand. But ultimately, Thomas Frank has to work with what he's got. We were told he was a coach. He was adaptable. And I'm saying we was told. I told you guys this as well. But this because ultimately, we know what the expectation of him was. When he came into Spurs, he said, I want to play attacking football. We've got some good attacking players available. Show me the attacking football because the numbers aren't looking good right now. And people know I'm not Thomas Frank out. I'm not going anywhere near Thomas Frank out. But I am calling out what I see. Shots on target, 15. Shots overall, 18th. We're not taking enough shots. We're not even attempting to shoot. 1 shot on target in a game against our rivals. It's not even a try. We're not even attempting. We're the 18th in the league for shots. 18th. 18th. It needs to improve. Players need to show more confidence. They need to show some more initiative to just make it happen by themselves. I know one thing that we've noticed in football nowadays, everyone wants to pass the ball into the fucking back of the net. Shoot! Shoot from the edge of the area, bruv. Shoot. Have an opportunity. See one and take it. Not like we've got players like Kudus, Shavi, players that you would expect to just shoot. I've seen Shavi bang bare goals from the edge of the box in his career. One of his biggest goals ever. Holland, England, semi-finals, Euros, backed it, top bins. Show me that. Take the opportunity. Try. Away from that. Touches in the opponent box, 7th. It's not terrible. But this one is... some of these things are beyond me. I actually don't know. I don't even know what this one is. I'm not too sure what this one is. But 17th anyway. So you can see our attacking play just hasn't been good enough overall. On the week, normally that's where we're losing games right now. It's the basics sometimes. It's the initiative. Players going out there to try and make something happen themselves rather than looking around and saying, oh, who's going to make it happen? We need to go out there and do it ourselves. Somebody needs to show that. But look, man, let me come to the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying, how you guys are feeling about this attack, some of the numbers that we're seeing in front of us. Frank is dog shit. You can't get the best out of anyone. Yeah, Tottenham Rangers. This is what I mean. Confirmation bias. You're using this game and you're using these earlier games to confirm that you never wanted Frank. You never wanted Frank. Didn't want him in, so you're hating on him from the jump. To say he's dog shit is just lies. We're not having a terrible start to the season. We started worse last year. So we need to slow down. Give him some time. No Frank in, no Frank out. None of that business. Just let the manager manage. If you want to judge him after our next 5 games and he's had about 20 games and you're not impressed at all with what you're seeing, cool. You can feel that way. But again, man, people are doing this like you're trying to create sides, trying to do this side versus this side. It doesn't have to be that. Let's just support Spurs. Let's just be happy. Richarlison 9 goals in 9 games under Ange. Johnson, that's just lies though. You're just making up stats now because that isn't the truth. You're doing a select 9 games of when he was like injured and starting. He was getting bullied. You're waffling, bruv. He was getting bullied, but I showed you the stats to prove that he definitely wasn't getting fully bullied because he won half of the duels that he was contested in. So as much as you thought he was getting bullied, the stats showed that he won half the duels. So I have said the team was getting bullied as a whole, but can't have been getting bullied as much as you say because you're trying to make it seem like it was all one way, but it obviously wasn't. So, you know, Shavi is not that wonder kid anymore. He may not be. He may not. Shavi Simmons. Yeah, this name's wild. Sava hated Ange so much, he'll back my nan if she was a manager. I hear you. He's overrated and peaked at age 12. Fairs. Xavier Simon and Colo Pandani, Yano. I don't know what fuck that. I don't feel sorry for that scrub Squidworks. But you guys in the chat, obviously, you guys in the chat are like, you're just agendas. You're just cooking. You want to cook. I'm here to talk football. So you guys could do all of that. You don't have to feel sorry for no one, but I'm talking football. Football-wise, I do feel sorry for a 22-year-old having to lead the team. That's what I was saying. Thanks for mentioning my club again, bro. Big up to Dean in the inside the building. Make sure you guys subscribe to FamZone TV. Name me one striker who has a good goal-to-shot ratio. I don't even know what you guys are on about. I'm going to catch up. I swear I didn't hate him from the jump. I was legit behind Frank, no bullshit. But if you was behind him, you wouldn't have flipped on him this quick. Let's be honest, you wouldn't have. It wouldn't have flipped this quick because what are you doing here? Why would you give a manager 15, 16 games to be like, yeah, I've had enough. He's shit. He's terrible. Like you didn't. Did anyone rate this team high? This is a team that finished 17th last year. So either you think the team is as bad as where it was finished last year, or it's better than that, and it's performing the way it is right now because it still has some of those players that were there when we finished 17th. Surely you must think it's both. Like, I don't get it. But look, I do have a very short stream. I do need to end like literally in 5 minutes because I've got a meeting. So I do want to get on to obviously the Van de Ven stuff. Let me just get the clip up. The Van de Ven and Spence. Yeah, give it time. Facts. That's it. We are Spurs fans, not manager fans. So look, I totally get like you don't have to be fully behind the manager. You don't have to defend the manager consistently. But what you do have to do, people, is give it time to really judge it because far too often people judge it so quick. and then you'll flip back on yourself. And look, you're allowed to flip flop. We're fans. We're not managers. But also at the same time, have some consistency in how you feel. Don't be a man, bro. Don't be a woman. Don't be so emotional, innit? Like, don't just act in the moment. But obviously, look, this is what we saw. This is the clip that's been going around of Jed, Spence, and Van der Ven. Just take the sound off. As you can see here, people. As you can see here, Thomas Frank is talking to Jed Spence and Van der Ven, sort of getting something across. It looks like he's telling them to go speak to the fans, and that's what I would imagine it to be. I think he said, look, you guys go. And the fans are booing. The fans are booing. Let's just have it right. Let's add some context. The fans are booing. It's a very poor game. Van der Ven was at fault for the goal. He's a captain. Jed Spence, you could say, was slightly at fault for it as well. But had a strong game. Probably, again, one of the only players putting their heart on the line and showing that grit and determination to just wrap up Neto on that right-hand side. But as you can see here, Spence is extremely frustrated, very animated, a lot of words being said. He was just not happy at all. And then, obviously, an assistant manager tries to speak to Van der Ven. He walks straight past. Same thing with Spence. And they go straight down the tunnel. Now, this is not the first time that players have gone straight down the tunnel. This happens frequently in football. Players are angry after a game, whether it's at their own performances, whether it's at another player, whether it's at the fans. Players are angry. They are emotional. They are allowed to act in the moment. I don't expect my players to be robots. I don't expect my players to make the right decisions every single time. They're humans, bruv. I'm only human. Yeah. So you know, like what Hook says. These men are human. They can make mistakes. And this is probably one that they're going to look back on and say it's a mistake. It's probably a time where they're going to look back and be like, do you know what? I shouldn't have done that. But they were angry. And I don't think that it's a slight on Thomas Frank. I don't think they ignored Thomas Frank. I don't think they obviously ignored him. Let me not say it like that. I don't think they were rude to Thomas Frank directly. I don't think they were like, oh, fuck off, Frank, I ain't listening to what you're saying. I do think that they just made a poor decision in the moment, and rightfully so. You know, I don't think Thomas Frank made a big deal about it. When he was addressed it in the interview after the game, pretty much just said, look, I think all players should go to the fans and speak and so on and sort of clap their way off. But look, it's such a minor issue for what actually happened today. That's one of the smaller problems. The bigger problem we had was what went on the pitch. So we're not going to focus, and I know a lot of social media is going to focus on this singular moment. Oh, Van der Ven and Spence disrespected the club. They disrespected Frank. We're doing too much. We're doing way too much. It's a little moment. It happened. They'll get over it. Today, they're probably in training, looking at the video, and they're like, oh, do you know what? I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, Frank. I'll do better next time. And that's all it will be. It'll be a conversation between Frank and Spence and Van der Ven. They'll apologize, and everyone will move on. But only the fans are going to sit here and make this to be like one big moment. Oh, this is where the players turned on Thomas Frank. Did they do this to Ange? It doesn't matter whether they done it to Ange. Ange was actually disrespected a lot. Ange was the guy that I was actually trying to beef the fans. When the fans were booing, Ange is the one cupping his ear, trying to go back and forth with fans. Like, we need to be a bit smarter here. Like, come on, people. Like, what are we doing here? Like, do you want to back Ange over Frank? It don't even make sense. Stop doing the manager versus manager thing because you want to be right. Frank is our manager. Ange isn't. Ange went to a new club, got sacked within 7 games. There's nothing more to be said on that. Nothing more to be said on the guy. Like, we need to just slow down. Like a first verbal warning without an escalating ladder for next time. Yeah, it's like a verbal warning, man. It's just like, yo, like, don't do this again. You know, media jumps on anything to make a story. And that's what it is. The media's just jumping on this to make a story. It really wasn't that deep. Ronaldo went in the tunnel in Spurs game under Ten Hag. Rest is history. Ranger Jords. Yeah, Ronaldo's different. Ronaldo is literally a player who understands. He's old as well. He's like he's a 35-year-old man. He understands all of his actions and what he's doing. If he walked down the tunnel in a big game, it's because he's not happy. And him not being happy is him basically saying, I'm going to leave the club. And he can do that. You think Spence and Van der Ven can be like, yeah, I'm leaving the club. And you think they're going to have bare suitors lined up for them like that after sharing no attitude? Come on, man. What are we doing here? They're not going to leave the club. We're talking about Van der Ven, he's vice captain. And that's the reason why I'm not happy with Van der Ven to some extent is you are vice captain. You need to be setting the example to the rest of the team. You can't be storming down the tunnel like that. You need to do better. So that's one thing that I will say on that. But look, people, I do need to head out. It's 10:30. I've got a meeting. Got some other streams later on. North Divide coming at 2 p.m. So make sure you come with your questions. Anything that I didn't answer, anything I didn't get around to in this stream, we'll get around to in that stream. So come with some questions over there later on in that stream. And then away from that, make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already to your boy. Subscribe, you know, road to 5K and them things. Make sure you are also liking the video because it don't take you a second. It don't cost you nothing. So smash your likes, please. And then away from that, I am going to be sending you over to KG. I'm going to send you over to KG, who's live right now. So if you guys can drop a DRD raid on KG's chat, let him know that you've come over from your boy, Durag Diaries raid. And yeah, look, people, I will be back shortly. Oh, I'm also going to be on Straight Facts in like a half hour. So yeah, you can catch me over there as well. And then midday live at 12. You should know the settings by now. But we'll be back real soon. Peace up, people. Bless up.